How's it going, everyone? It is Gill. We're back with another chapter of Deadrock, Chapter 12, White Calamity. And we actually have a cover page for this chapter, not just an infographic. We have Makoto at an undead birthday party, which I actually love this chapter cover so much. I love the idea that she reanimated like these skeletons to be at this like birthday party. And, who's it for? Who knows? Even Makoto's outfit and stuff, I just like the whole design that she has, and the food that she has, it kind of almost looks like ramen, but maybe not great. But still just love that she reanimated people to be guests for this birthday party. So we pick up the chapter with the main group fighting the vice principal, Bren, and he's in his giant form. And they're like, okay, we don't really know what to do about this giant form. We couldn't even defeat him in his regular form, so how are we going to beat him now? But Zalisha turns into her human form, and I love that she calls it pretty girl mode, and like Makoto is in the background like, oh yeah, you are pretty cute. So Bren picks up a tree and he goes to attack everyone with it, and gosh dang, he commits a mass amount of damage with it. Just a tree, like he destroys the ground underneath it. And honestly, a majority of this forest he just straight up destroys, and everyone just having to dodge. But then you get Frey coming in to, burn this tree and help save everyone. And she does a blazing fist of obliteration, which just completely sets ablaze that tree that he's holding. But she's not alone in that attack, because she gets Alicia joining in with a black magic song of destruction, and Hani joining in with a thunder impact. Which all those combined attacks hit Bren, and to be honest, they don't do much of anything, and he literally says, those don't work on me. He does a giant ground pound with the palm of his hand, which it pretty much just only destroys Hani, and everyone else seems to be fine. Which is where Ryzen comes up with the bright idea of like, okay, you guys keep going for his face, I'm just going to go for his legs, and as he's going to go slash his legs, Bren literally jumps up into the air and he's like, well, crap, didn't think of this. And I like that Makoto's like, screw you guys, I'm just gonna do it myself. And she starts summoning her undead army, and before she even fully gets to summon any of them, there's like a giant fist coming her way, which she most definitely would have died if it wasn't for Yakuto. I like that out of all things, Makoto is really upset that her little corpses died. And also the combination between Yakuto and Ryzen with him wanting to launch him on the sword. It's a cool, teamwork bit. So Yakuto gets launched straight into Bren's eye, and he does a black dragon's fist of obliteration, and he hits him straight in the eye, and it doesn't do much of anything, and Yakuto just gets slapped out of the way. And the vice principal's going on about how, none of them can defeat him no matter how much they band together, that he's the teaching head of the school, and, you're not going to be able to defeat me. Which pretty much has everyone have their own monologue in their head, like, there's no way we can beat him. Yakuto saying, well, if we can't even beat him, how are we going to beat God? And Makoto picking up that he talked about this teaching head bit, there'll probably be some way to defeat him. And before they even get any time to contemplate what he's saying, Bren picks up the gate that they kind of walked by on their way here. Turns out picking up that gate actually activated it, so it's, lighting up now, and it sends a giant beam of light straight into the sky. And there must have been something sealed inside of this gate, and him messing with it unsealed it, and it turns out what was sealed inside of that gate is a giant white dragon. And this dragon honestly is very Dragon Ball-esque. He's got the Shenron look to him. And they literally call this the White Dragon, and Bren acknowledges it as the White Calamity from level 2007. And you get someone in the background saying, hey, I sealed that thing away. It was way too dangerous, and you just had to go and release it. Turns out it's that frog lady that was killed in the doorway of the house that Bren was setting up here. That was actually just a duplicate of herself, and the real Magu is alive and well. Also, just a side note, I absolutely love Makoto saying that I don't recall turning you into a zombie. Also, Magu literally talking to the main group here saying take responsibility for what you did. Like, they did nothing. It was Bren that kind of summoned this guy and they're just here. But either way, Yakuto's like, hey, gotcha, I'll go seal this thing away right now. And Magu's like, what the heck? How are you going to do that? You're not even a sealing wizard. Like, how are you ever going to seal this white dragon away? Which honestly, the second he was jumping for this dragon, I kind of figured out what he was going to do, since Yakuto is severely depowered right now. So Yakuto ends up on the top of this dragon and he just starts trying to draw its power away. Successfully doing it. He's getting the power drawn into himself, and he actually fully absorbs this dragon into himself, and he turns into a hybrid of a black and white dragon. Kind of love the additional details here that his arm is still black, which makes sense because that was the only part of the black dragon that didn't get taken away from him. And I also love that you can still see the acnologia within him, like on the markings and the face. Parts of the body are new and the wings are brand new. And pretty much everyone's freaking out about this, especially Magu, with her saying a cross between a black and white dragon. That's a legendary dragon that was mentioned in the records of the demon world. And he is the black and white dragon now. And I think it's actually kind of a cool hybrid that they made here. And with that, it is the end of our chapter. So my thoughts. I think now that Yakuto is this combination of a black and white dragon, and especially since Bren was so terrified of the white calamity, I think he's going to get beaten by Yakuto pretty easily now. Because it wouldn't shock me that this white dragon has maybe like some holy properties to it or something that can kill demons easier, hence why they sealed it away. Because in the demon world, why would you want this thing that's going to kill, demons easier? Also, on an additional note, will Yakuto be able to eventually talk to this dragon since he is sealing it away within himself? I imagine that he should be able to talk to it at some point. And does that mean that the dragon that was in him before was basically acnologia, but he sealed it within himself? Otherwise, I think this was a nice continuation to this chapter. I think the fight was having a natural progression to it, and overall enjoyed things pretty darn nicely. I think there was some cool moments that happened throughout. So what are your guys' thoughts on Chapter 12 of Deadrock? Leave it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and this is Drago, signing out.